So that's our plan. Check it out. But we can't just think and look at the short and mid-range goals. We've also got to be thinking out in the future, a couple decades. And we're doing that with a project called Vision Louisville. That's architecting the big picture, the long view of the community. So Vision Louisville is a deliberate process to create our future. What's a great, sustainable, healthy, digital, growing city where everybody wins, lives in? How's our city look? How's it feel? How's it flow? That's what attracts visitors and new residents, business owners, and makes our city the place to be. Now here's a few issues that Vision Louisville is exploring. How can our strong health and wellness sector transform us into a world leader in aging care and health research? How can the Nulu Renaissance on East Market Street spread to other neighborhoods? How do we make all neighborhoods vibrant, from here in Russell to Fairdale to Fern Creek? Tourism. Tourism is our second largest industry here in town. Visitors spend almost $2 billion a year in Louisville. The Kentucky Bourbon Trail and our urban bourbon trail is getting major international publicity. How do we grow that area of our economy? And then how do we continue the momentum that's taking place between the Louisville and Lexington Beam partnership that also is getting national attention because people just aren't used to seeing two cities work with each other. So we're getting a lot of help with that from around the country. So the question, this all sounds good, but how do we pay for it? After pension and tax reform, my top legislative priority is getting the General Assembly on board with what we're calling LIFT. Let's lift our city up. Let's lift Kentucky up. What's LIFT stand for? Local Investments for Transformation. So we need the General Assembly to start the process to amend the state constitution to allow cities and counties the ability to decide if they want an optional local sales tax of up to 1% to invest in critical capital projects for a specific period of time. So, being the salesman that I am, please check out the flyer at your seats for more details on LIFT. We're finding that as people get educated and knowledgeable on LIFT, we're having over 90% of the people are saying we need to be able to choose what our future is going to look like. Now in Louisville, thank you. In Louisville, a 1-cent sales tax that could only go into place if you, our citizens, voted on it for specific projects, a single powerful penny would generate $90 million a year. And that's enough to make a waterfront park level investment in our community every year. That's a lot of money at $90 million. In New York or LA, you pull a few permits for $90 million. Here we build one of the world's great parks. So think about how quickly we could progress with our quality of place with the power of a penny. Now here's how it works. After the General Assembly approves a statewide referendum, and we need 60% of the House and Senate to vote for this, then it goes on a statewide ballot, and then all Kentuckians would have to vote whether or not they want to amend the state constitution. Yes or no? Can we have the right locally to vote on things that we want to invest in? Then, when that all goes through, a citizen and elected official advisory board would choose what capital projects that we would want to invest in as a community with specific detailed cost to put on the ballot after intensive community input process. Then we, Louisville voters, would then either vote yes or no at the ballot box, and the tax will end when the project monies are raised. So when you see all the things that you think our community needs, when you see roads deteriorating, right now from the general fund, we are only spending $1.2 million a year on roads and sidewalks in our community. We should be spending about $8 million. But because of the general fund pressure, we don't have the money to do it. So roads, infrastructure, public transportation, the parks in your neighborhood that you see want to be upgraded. We simply want us to have the ability to vote on whether or not we want to make that type of investment in the community. This is the ultimate democracy-driven tool to help us compete with cities like Austin, Denver, Oklahoma City, and other places that already have this option and are investing more nimbly and more often than we are in their quality of place. 37 of 50 states already allow this option, and we need to give our citizens the freedom to decide what they want to invest in. This is the highest level of democracy where people, not politicians, decide whether or not they want to invest in their cities. It's about freedom to choose how you want to invest in your community rather than going to Frankfurt and begging for money. Remember, Louisville generates $2.4 billion a year in taxes that we send to Frankfurt, and we only get back $1.2 billion. We simply need more options to compete with other cities that are doing a better job than we currently are in investing in their quality of place. So when you travel the country and you see this construction going on in the public arena, it's almost always being paid for by a local optional sales tax. We need that option. Now, some have told me this is too big of a task to take on, to change the state constitution. But I say, if we don't take chances, if we don't think big and bold, then act together. After doing that, we will not be as great an American city as we can be, and I will not, and I know you will not, settle for that. So yes, we have some work to do, but we are up to the task. So please, call your state representatives, call your state senators, let them know you support the local option. If you don't support the local option, please don't call them, okay? All right. So I hope you can see my team's focused on changing the direction of the city, the way we plan for the future, the way we run government services, and the way we pursue economic development. Now, it's not just us talking. People from around the world are also talking about our city's great momentum. Zagat named the 8 foodiest cities in the world, only one in America, the Ville. Lonely Planet says we're the #1 travel destination for the United States in 2013. We were named the International Model City of Compassion, and in May, we'll be hosting the Dalai Lama, a testament to our reputation on this front. Business Facility magazine called the Ford Economic Development Deal the Economic Deal of the Year. And of course, the really big news, Gentleman Quarterly's magazine named us America's most manly city. So you can't buy that kind of publicity, but we definitely have worked hard at it. So when you leave here today, here's a few things I'd ask you to do. A couple concrete steps. Hire a student intern this summer. Please help us with our summer youth program opportunities. Call your state representatives and state senators, everybody that you know, and express your support for the local option. A virtual step, go online, share your vision at visionlouisville.com, or give us feedback on the strategic plan website. And a cultural step, Louisville's a city with great momentum. Brag about it. Tell everybody you see about the progress that we're making in our city. Positive people make positive things happen. We're all in the business of selling our city. Now on Monday, America celebrated the life of Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King obviously said a lot of profound things, but one of his quotes I want to close on. He said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." So while our city is certainly beyond the first step, we know our staircase will always be under construction. We're peering up as far as we can see, and none of us can fully imagine what awaits at the top. We do know, however, that we are on this journey together, and this journey is never going to be complete. But with each other, we are changing the direction of our city, the trajectory of our city, to compete with any city on the globe, and together build a greater Louisville. Thank you very much.